everybody. I am Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is Bryan versus Bryan, episode 68, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Who are you going to call? We're going to find out. Are we going to call the police? Are we going to call our local mayor? Complain about this release? What are we going to do here? Yeah, it didn't make sense. Just move on. 2021 release, theaters only. So, and man, it's been pushed back quite a few times. So it's nice to finally watch it. And yeah, just get to experience a Ghostbusters sequel that we've been waiting for. Ghostbusters 2 came out in 1989.
Yeah.
So, it's been a while. It's been a little bit. What's his name? Jason Reitman directing.
Yeah, Jason Reitman, yeah.
And writing. Ivan Reitman's son. So, yeah, it's in the family's hands. Whole new little young cast. Chloe Moretz, is that her name? Chloe Grace? I don't know.
McKenna.
Grace McKenna. Who
McKenna
am I?
Grace.
That's some other child actor. I don't know what I was. Yeah, McKenna Grace. Anyway, she wrote a song for this. Did you see that? I was looking.
Oh, was that her? The one that plays in the credits? I didn't know that was her.
Well, yeah, I was watching all the damn credits because I had to get to the credit scenes, and
yeah,
it's like that song. It was like the last song on the page, and it's like written by Grace McKenna and somebody, and I was like, oh, really? The one was like, "I'm haunted in this house." I don't remember how it goes, but
it felt weird. Yeah, it was a weird transition from the theme to that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So McKenna Grace is Phoebe.
McKenna Grace. Phoebe Cates. Wait. Phoebe Spangler. So this movie, I really liked. The intro was really cool. So we see a figure, and I'm like, is this Egon? And then they do a really good job of insinuating that it's Egon, only never showing his full face, and kind of side features, and I could tell it looked like old Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty sweet. And then Gozer, the original bad guy, he's kind of watching over them at this farmhouse where they're trying to come back because there's some evil mining Shandor stuff. It's like all this Shandor. This guy's crazy. But anyways, it could possibly happen again, and he knows it's going to. And then they follow him into the farmhouse and kill him in the beginning. And I thought it was a really cool visual of him sitting in the chair and kind of being scared. Because the Ghostbusters were never scared. You know what I mean? Even though they're dealing with ghosts, it's like it never felt like they were in danger. Like they could die. They could just get slimed or something. So this was kind of strange. And then the hands come out of the chair and grab him, like in homage to number one.
Yeah.
And then you see his hand just kind of fall. And then you see the ghost leave through the town. And then I love the shot. They go back and it shows the PKE fell under the chair. And then the PKE goes.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You could tell that his ghost, Egon's ghost, is coming out of his body. Yeah, that was awesome moment.
Yeah, that was a cool intro. I agree that the intro was dope. I mean, it's all done without dialogue too, and there's just really cool moments of just suspense, and you just trying to figure out what's going on. Like he's racing back to his house, and he stands on the porch, and he just holds the fucking ghost trap out, and you're just waiting, and you're like, what the fuck? And he pushes on a pedal, and that some trap didn't work, and I don't know, just a lot of cool subtle moments that I thought was a nice setup for the movie.
I feel like there was. Oh yeah, there was, because I was feeling like there was something in the trap. Like it wasn't an empty trap.
No,
because it was like smoking and it was beeping. Yeah, and then now thinking about it, that trap is the one found in the ground and does have either the gatekeeper or the keymaster.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, that was freaking sweet, man. And then we move on to the news story. From the dirt farmer. Egon's referred to a lot as a dirt farmer in this. And this new Phoebe character, I really liked. I thought this girl did a really good job.
She was so awesome.
Yeah.
She was a delight, man. I loved her so much. She was great.
And like the emotional parts, the funny parts, it was just all great, dude.
Yeah.
I love the triangle joke. Something about he's
obtuse.
triangulating the signal, and then she's like, "Well, did you make 3 sides?" And he's like, "Yes, I know what a triangle is." And she's like, "Well, I didn't know if you were being obtuse." And he's like, "Did you just make a geometry joke?" And she winks.
Oh yeah.
And she said, "Yes, that's why I winked."
Oh man, yeah.
Like,
all of her dad jokes are great.
Yeah, and he's like, "Wow, that's terrible. I love it." Paul Rudd was extra Paul Ruddy in this.
Yeah.
It's like,
you can't go wrong with Paul Rudd.
Very Paul Ruddy. I liked him in this. I don't know where to start. I don't want to kind of hash the story of the movie, really. But basically, that's the story that the Shandor group made this mining shaft place, and where they think Gozer could come back again. And it's been bubbling up over the years, and every so often it almost happens, and Egon had to move there. This is a world event, not like just a haunting event.
Sure.
It could end the world. And so he moved there and built this intricate like systems to keep it from happening. And eventually preparing, he makes his house as just a giant ghost trap he's setting up over the years to try and catch Gozer, because they never caught Gozer. Remember, they did the full protonic reversal across the streams. So I did like that. It's like, because they do make mention of Egon just wanted to catch the one ghost they never caught. I was like, okay, this is all making a little sense. And but then we find out Egon is like abandoned everybody, and that kind of broke my heart for a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, we understand his motivations, but to know the pain and like him just leaving the Ghostbusters. Yeah, he took the car, took all the packs, all the say everything. Damn, bro, left you guys nothing.
Well, you feel it. I mean, I guess here on out, spoilers. I mean, if anyone's listening and hasn't seen this movie, you need to fucking stop and go watch this movie. And we're not going anywhere. This review is not going anywhere. Please go watch this movie. But you feel it when fucking Ray gets called, when Phoebe calls Ray, and she says something about Egon. He goes, just softly, like, that guy can rot in hell. And you're just like, whoa, something went down.
Yeah, you know, because they're always just thick as thieves in the movies.
Yeah.
And then it kind of explains the stuff, and they lost the firehouse and all this stuff. I'm like, oh man. What I don't get is that the car is back to the original car, and he's like, he took the car. Shouldn't it be the Ghostbusters 2 car?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that would have been really cool to stick with have the Ghostbusters 2 car, even though people think it's not as iconic. But then it's just the continuity, you know. Let them have the normal suits when they come back and everything. But
did you have the feeling that 2 was ignored? And the only reason why I asked that is that somewhere in the movie, when they go down to the mines and they start looking at the dates of
they didn't
have the 89, so it made me think that maybe the 2 is ignored in this movie, but because there's nothing that I saw that was a reference. That there's no ooze, there's nothing about anything of the second movie to my knowledge. So I'm wondering if they just omitted the second movie, but I don't really know for sure.
I just read an article that said Jason Reitman assures fans Ghostbusters 2 is still canon.
Oh, okay.
They just didn't really touch on it at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would have liked to see. I guess it didn't make much sense. 84, 89, like all these events were like so far apart.
Yeah, that's true. Later. Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah,
I guess that was a whole different event too, right? That wasn't even Gozer. That was just its own little. So I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it was just a guy in a painting. Yeah, he wasn't trying to take. Oh, I guess he kind of was trying to take over the world, but the motivation was just like, I just want to live again. Bring me a baby so that I may.
Yeah.
Gozer was like straight up destroy the traveler. Oh yeah, but Shandor in this is played by J.K. Simmons. I didn't even know that until I watched
so
the credits.
quick.
I couldn't tell. I didn't notice anything. She's like, Jesse's with me. She's like, you didn't see that? I was like, no, I didn't know that's J.K. Simmons. It's only in the movie for like a minute.
Yeah, he's like barely like the moment he's on screen, he has one line, then he's just gone. You're like, oh,
he is torn in half.
Torn in half, yeah.
Yeah, but all the moments of like, dude, this movie has so much heart. It dragged a little bit for me between the beginning and the end, and right in the middle, there's a lot of. It felt long-winded. Could probably use a little editing in there, but I mean, once the third act kicks in, you cannot like look away. You are catching everything. It's like there's no way you're gonna want to get up and get snacks or anything during that third act. Like, get it done in the middle. Because the beginning is really good too, and then the middle's it's all good, but they don't in comparison. I heard someone comparing it to Ghostbusters 2. Oh, yeah, it was the hell's that guy's name? The Clerks guy, Kevin.
Oh, Smith.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. They were talking about it, and he said, in comparison to Ghostbusters 2 as a sequel, he said the highs are higher in this, but the lows are lower. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But yeah, speaking of the heart, like Egon starts kind of what you think is Egon, and you later find out is kind of starts acting like a spirit, like playing chess with Phoebe, and then she doesn't believe in ghosts, and leading her to find the things. And I just thought that was just like a really cool, almost like father-daughter moments where he'd use lights, and then he's helping her rebuild the proton pack, and like then the lights like points at the next part, and how did you make a cyclotron so small? And then the light, all the PhDs on the wall. She's like, oh, I get it. Yeah, you're a genius. And it's like, oh, dude, all those parts were so good for me.
Yeah, even just like when they go test the gun for the front in podcast, is like, how did you do all this? And she's like, my grandpa taught me. I don't know, it's just a cute little moment.
Yeah, and I liked the podcast too. Speaking of that, it was fun.
That guy's awesome. Yeah, he was fun.
Yeah, super fun. The other guy doesn't really have as much to do. The Stranger Things kid, he's not in this. He's really not utilized very much. Trevor, but he was decent. But I kind of pulls me out of things when they keep putting him in everything as a kid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Stranger Things, and then It, and so it's like,
I forgot about it. Yeah.
It's hard for me to, because he always kind of feels like the same kid that he's playing. Almost like Paul Rudd stick. He's like he is himself in these characters, kind of the smart ass kind of kid. What else you got? Where are we at?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could just do my overall thoughts. Like I think was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. I was talking about like going into this movie what I wanted and to be happy. And what I wanted was this movie to be its own thing, but also respect the movies that came before it. And what I didn't want was just fucking 2 hours of nostalgia of like, remember this, remember that. Like I didn't want 2 hours of that nonsense. I loved this movie. This movie was fucking awesome. I enjoyed it from the moment it started. I was so happy with everything they did. This movie does stand on its own. It's not a carbon copy of Ghostbusters. It has its own plot. It's not the same plot, kind of like a Force Awakens, New Hope. It doesn't do that. It does kind of I have some gripes with it. I'm not saying it's a 10 out of 10. I do have some minor stuff that I didn't like. But I love that it feels so different. That may turn a lot of people off because I think people may come into this thing. It's going to be like a whimsical comedy, fast paced, like the first one was. But this is like a family drama that just happens to be a Ghostbusters movie. Like you said earlier, this movie has a lot of fucking heart, and it does, and it pays off, especially towards the end. There's moments where I teared up in the finale, just because I think they did so well setting everything up, and they have these really cool moments at the end of the movie. And I wouldn't think saying that for a Ghostbusters movie for me to tear up. Like I don't tear up in Ghostbusters 1 or 2. I mean, those movies are just fun and hilarious and a good time. And this one just had a little
Yeah.
more emotional punch to it, and I appreciated that. Yeah, I love that Slimer was replaced with a new character. I thought that was cool. I think it was Muncher or Munch.
Yeah.
I forget, but
Muncher.
that was kind of fun. He had his fun little action set piece with like going around shooting shooting up the town.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. He like eats stuff, eats metal. And
Hmm.
how does he do that? Slimer ate things that would just fall out.
Right? Yeah.
This guy's like, this guy has a real stomach or something.
Yeah, I liked him. That he was cool. I thought the fucking score was awesome and reminiscent of the originals.
Yeah.
I thought all the sound effects, all of the gear, seeing the fucking Ecto-1 drive through a wheat field is such a cool just visual, because we're so used to Ecto-1 driving through the streets of New York. Ghostbusters is very New York, and just to see the Ecto-1 just fucking sliding through a wheat field, just the visual of that, I think is really cool. Yeah, there's so much I liked about this movie. This movie is awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, I really enjoyed it too. Yeah, I think I think it is pretty funny. I think it is a comedy.
Oh yeah. There are some funny bits in there. Yeah,
there's a lot of funny stuff in there. And I do think it hits you over the head with nostalgia, but it doesn't do it the way you think it would. Like if you're a big Ghostbusters fan, you're going to see all the things, but if you're not, you're not. Like there was some references in there. Like one of the first non-muncher ghosts you see is do you remember that ghost? He has an eyeball and it's out and it's like got a cord and it sucks back into the ghost. That is one of the original real Ghostbusters toys. It was a ghost called Popper, and you squeeze it and the eye came out and had a string that went poof.
Nice.
You can put it back in.
Oh, yeah, I didn't catch that one.
I was like, dude, that's a reference to a toy. And then made it a real ghost. I was like, dude, that's freaking awesome. No one's gonna know that. But I knew it, and I was like, dude, that's so cool. Like little things, Twinkie in the glove box of the Ecto candy bar in the pocket of Spangler's suit. I'm gonna take back some of the things I said about you. And he gives him a candy bar.
Yeah.
Little things, man.
Stack of books in the living room.
Yeah. I don't know.
They didn't take down.
Yeah.
For some reason, they just kept it up. I'm like, okay.
You're right, Ray. No human would stack books like this. Massive sponge migration. Yeah, there was lots of that stuff, and it was so cool.
I think the only one I didn't like was the marshmallow. I could have done without. I mean, they were cute, don't get me wrong, but it's like they didn't really need to be in the movie. That was kind of the one I was like, eh. But other than that, I thought all the nostalgia stuff worked pretty well.
Yeah, the Marshmallow Men, they were pretty funny, but yeah, I don't know. I liked them in there. I love this. The scene in the store was probably the best. And they're all killing each other. I was just it's getting stabbed in the face, burning each other up, and then one's like kind of parachuting in the blender because the fans making him levitate, and then he kind of and just smears all over the outside. That was pretty good.
Or like when podcast at the end when he comes out of Ecto-1, he's covered in
he starts just popping all of them because they're messing with the equipment in the Ecto. Yeah, that was good. So love it. Think it's a real great tribute. I think what we're trying to do is get out our overall thoughts so we can talk about the finale, right? I think that's what this movie kind of is. And the finale is this movie. It's like, oh my God, you can't believe it. So the Spangler Phoebe character realizes what the house is and how to stop these ghosts, and she knows the plan. And then, she had kind of starts explaining to everybody that he wasn't crazy, and he left everybody to save the world. He had to do it. Nobody else would. So that was some kind of cool stuff. And the moving part of his daughter finding in the room, like Egon keeping track of like all her life and accomplishments. But yeah, you still could call her, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's not rocket science here. It's a telephone.
It's a rebel without a cause. What's your cause? Am I making phone calls?
Mm-hmm. Like, that's pretty cold, man. And they don't explain who her mom is. I would have liked to know who Egon got with, or maybe, obviously not Janine, because Janine shows up and talks to her, and like she you know, she wasn't like, you can't surprise someone with a mom, you know what I mean? And I'm your mom. You are. It's like, it's kind of like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
But Janine was good. Man, I really wish we would have got just a little bit of Louis Tully in there. That would have been great if he would have just done something. But no, he's too busy with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids again. Come on, man.
His commercial, getting punched in the street of New York.
Welcome to New York, asshole.
Oh,
you
man.
look like Vince. You look like Vince Clortho, you loser. You geek. Yeah. So she figures it out, and now the kids kind of band to help her, and so she lures Gozer out of that crazy temple thing because they trap one of the terror dogs. So to weaken her a little bit, she's got to have both the Keymaster, Gatekeeper to be at full power. Apparently, that was never kind of explained before. So we're getting a little more lore on this particular god ghost entity. So, and I like that one line. Yeah, you became a dog, and then you got kind of humpy.
Oh yeah, I love that. Forgot about that line. Yeah, that's good. Oh man.
But lures her to the field where all the ghost traps are, because it's like one big ghost trap. And then we see her trying to. She's wrangling her. Got the proton stream around her. Then something we've never seen anyone do, which is pretty crazy. Gozer just grabs the stream, just kind of.
Oh yeah.
Kind of rips it off. I'm like, oh. Why didn't you do that last time?
She's uncrossing the streams.
Yeah, but this is when there's just one stream, and then yeah, I really like the person who played Gozer. It's somebody. It was a kind of big name that I'd heard of, but I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I was looking it up because she looked familiar, and I still don't know who she is, to be honest. I'll look for it while there you go. Yeah,
because it looked visually pretty much, like the same character. It was very close. And the voice, they might have got the person back to do the voice. I'm not sure.
So they have two cast members play Gozer. They have the actual actor voice, and they have the voice. So the actor is Emma Portner, which it looks like the partner of Elliot Page. Yeah. This person's married to Elliot Page. And then the voice is a name I'm going to butcher because it's Saray Duchelou. I don't know. She's in. I recognize her from a sci-fi show called The Expanse, but I think she was.
I think she was the original voice too, because it sounds kind of an Asian gravelly, Yeah, I think she has done some other horror movies. She's like the lady who explains there's a butchergeist in the house. Yes. So lures her back, and then it's not going well. The tide starts to turn, and then what do you know? To save the day, we hear, I don't even remember their entry line.
Something hey, like Puss Bucket, or it was something along those lines.
Oh, it was, hey, flat top.
Yeah.
she's got this this high top fade haircut, and it's the original three Ghostbusters standing there fully suited up, and they came and they start throwing their stream at her, but not before some really good banter. Like these guys, the lines are back, dude. Like Peter was super funny. And it's like, it didn't work out last time, and you just keep crawling back to me. And then Ray has the great Gozer the Gozerian on behalf of the behalf of the state of Missouri, the Fish and Wildlife Department.
Honestly, I think that was probably my favorite part of all the lines. Just him going full Ray again was just so great.
Yeah. And the Invasive Species Act, we must ask you to leave this dimension. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then another throwback I loved, man, was like, after he says that, Gozer, are you a god?
Oh yeah.
and then he just kind of sits there in silence for a second, and Winston and Peter, come on, Ray.
Yes.
He's like, yes.
We're all gods.
Jesse didn't get that. I was like, no, it's from the first one. It's a hilarious moment when she shocks them all, and we get the Winston line. Someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
I just love the beat of silence, and then Winston just like, Ray. That was good.
Yeah, they were in it a lot less than I thought. Like, they came in the last 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
But man, what a treat.
Yeah.
And then so they're streaming. Then Phoebe's streaming, and they're helping each other. Yeah, we get a moment. She's like crossing their streams. That was pretty crazy. And so they're kind of looking like they're winning, but then Phoebe's getting pushed back. It's kind of like a Harry Potter thing where they're pushing
the two the forces are being pushed.
You choose your delight. Star Wars, they all do it. The two forces are pushing, and you win if you push yours harder. I'm gonna push you harder. And then so she's getting pushed back, and then a hand gets placed on her hand, and it's like a ghosty hand. It's a blue translucent hand. And then we pan up, and you see fucking Dr. Spangler, Egon there standing behind her, holding the pack with her. And dude,
that got me.
I teared
up. I'm turned up just describing it. It's such a good moment.
I teared. Jesse was bawling in the damn theater, and she doesn't have the connection to Ghostbusters that I have. So it's an emotional moment, even if you're just watching for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I came close to that, but man, it was emotional. And such a good rendition. And this one you get to see Egon a lot.
Yeah.
And what a great rendition. I don't know if it looked better than most we've seen because it's a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not dealing with like actual skin tones anymore.
Right.
And so the uncanny valley of your mind isn't like, that doesn't look right. Because it's a ghost. Because it looked really good.
It looked awesome. It looked, Pepsi Cola that I probably couldn't tell. You know what I mean? Like, it looked that good.
Yeah, and
that motherfucker's still alive.
And they did a good thing. They didn't give him any lines, which I think helped.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of emoting through expression and stuff and touch. Because it might have taken us out a bit if they added some, maybe some lines they found from movies or something.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of glad they didn't do that. But he looked really great. And you've never seen old Harold Ramis playing Egon.
Yeah.
And so he never did the hair thing again. So they got old Harold Ramis with the Egon hair as like an old man with gray hair. Mm-hmm. And it looked great. I was like,
looks awesome,
man. Yeah. To have been able to see him actually do that would have been so great.
Another good moment. It wasn't necessarily emotional like the holding his granddaughter's proton was, but there's a moment where he's standing next to the other three Ghostbusters, and they don't recognize it. Winston like looks over and sees them, and then like finally Bill Murray looks over. This is like they all kind of look over, and there's Egon.
No, the first thing
that was cool.
Yeah, he's standing there, and then Winston's the only one that like realizes he's there, and that was just hilarious. That was a hilarious beat. And he was kind of just like, I've seen some shit that will turn you white.
Oh, man.
And then we get an emotional part there too, where he's streaming with them, and Ray's like, I'm sorry, Egon. I didn't believe you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. And then, of course, Bill Murray has to cut the emotion with a little bit of sarcasm. It's like, I knew you'd show up sometime. And then Winston is like, he's also is like, I should have called. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So it was very emotional. They're all standing there, the Ghostbusters again, and it looked so good.
Mm-hmm.
But in the timeline, did he stand there before he helped? No, he showed up helping the girl.
Yeah, the first time you ever see him is just his hand holding the
yeah. Okay, so then he eventually joins over where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they defeat it, and pretty cool looking freaking ghost trap. It's just sucks all the hundreds of spirits in. And then he kind of hangs out with them for a second, and he hugs his daughter. That's another really emotional part. And then it's almost like and he I can't remember if he hugs his grandson. He interacts with his grandson too.
Oh yeah.
And it reminded me of like Casper, which is funny because the Ghostbuster it's the only Ghostbuster sequel we got up until this was Casper. Right?
When they run out,
Ray's got like a mustache. He looks all weird, and he's like, "Who are you gonna call? Someone else."
Yeah,
and he leaves. But in Casper, they're like ghosts have unfinished business, right? And then once it's done, they leave, and it just looks like totally Caspered him. It's like this was his unfinished business. He got the plan done. He got to hug his daughter, and then as he's hugging her, he just went up, turns into fairy dust, my friend. The particles up in the sky, and everyone has a tear in their eye and says goodbye. And then we pan up, and then it got me right there. Got me right there, man. And it says for Harold.
So great. In the stars, so great,
so good. And
it's got to be like an emotional. I mean, even just take the fucking movie aspect out of it, right? Like. You got to know that Jason Reitman hung out with these guys as a kid when his dad's making the. He was probably pretty close to Harold and all these guys, I imagine. So I imagine that Harold's death was pretty hard on the Reitman family, and I think that Jason, did a lot of justice or a lot of warmth and care for Harold, and it really shows.
Yeah, it's so sad that we lost him before Ghostbusters 3, but yet we got Ghostbusters 3, and it's pretty much all about Egon. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
The one that can't be in the movie is kind of what the movie is focused on. And it's a great tribute to Harold. It's a great movie. And it does it so well, man.
Yeah. Was he already passed by the time 2016? Or was he still okay?
2014.
Gotcha. That's right. They had like a bust of him in 20, right? I think in like one of the.
You're asking me if I remember a part of those.
You probably shouldn't even bring that movie up. That's a whole other can of worms.
I only remember the wontons. There's no wontons in this. One damn wonton. It's all bra. 20 minutes about this wonton joke.
Oh God.
It's probably the funniest part of the movie. Damn joke, and it's not that funny.
Yeah.
But it's funny because you're like, everyone in the movie theater clapped when we did that. I don't remember what we were talking about. You're like, I'm not a clapper. I didn't do it.
Oh yeah, me. Yeah.
Anyways, it's over. It says for Harold, and Jesse kind of starts it, and the whole theater goes.
Damn.
Everyone goes. And so I joined in. I was like, yeah. And so she started. I was like, dude, yeah.
That's awesome.
I've never been in a theater where people clapped. And let alone kind of my group started it. And let alone I felt it was very warranted. I was like, I'm gonna clap for this movie and Harold. Way to go, boys. That was so good.
Gotta clap your hands to stop your feet.
And then everyone's sitting there, and then like everyone starts leaving. and we just sitting down. I'm like, these idiots.
Mhm.
I just want to tell them there's more. You
There's
idiots.
2 of them, yeah.
Yeah. You got a mid credits and a post credits. So mid credits wasn't much at all.
Yeah, I almost feel like
It-
they should have swapped those because I guarantee you a lot of people missed that last one. I feel like you probably could have put the Bill Murray one at the tail end, but
yeah, like when the credits were rolling, I was like, and I thought Sigourney Weaver came back. She's like in a lot of interviews with these guys for this movie. I was like, well,
Mhm.
did I miss Sigourney? No way. And then it's funny. Right as I said that, like the credits were showing people's names, and it said, "And Sigourney Weaver."
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
where
I
the
was
fuck
like,
was
what
she?
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, what?
She wasn't in this movie, and then it cuts to the scene.
Mhm.
It's her giving Venkman the test that he gave the kids in the first one. I know, holding the card up, the ESP test. Say, I don't know, a couple of wavy lines.
2 of them. Oh wait, no, 3. 3
Yeah,
wavy
and then
lines.
she's shocking him, and it heavily implies that like they're married
Yeah.
and together now. It doesn't say it, but I've seen people. They both have a wedding band on in the scene,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, "That's good. I hope they got together."
In the IMDb credits for their characters, it says Dana Barrett Venkman. So there's
Sweet.
that.
Dana Barrett Venkman. She would not change her other name, which I'm keeping Barrett. I don't trust your ass. That's the bedroom. Nothing ever happened in there. What a crime. What a crime.
Yeah,
So,
that scene was okay. It was fine. Yeah. It was cute.
It was fun, but
Yeah.
man, couldn't give her something more than that.
Yeah.
Maybe she's busy and didn't want to do it, but she wanted to be a part of it. And then the last one is kind of setting up the sequels and stuff. I hope. Fingers crossed. It's weird to me. They kind of set up this whole thing with the kids, right? It's supposed to be the kids, but then the sequel setup is almost implying it's going to be Winston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he takes the car, which is, I believe, theirs because it's Spangler's stuff, right? And then he passes it on to his kids. But then Winston's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take you back to New York, baby."
Yeah.
Like, wait, you're taking the car now? That's fun. Anyways, you see him, and they got the Ghostbusters theme beat, and then he's driving on the bridge into New York, and that was a cool looking scene.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And apparently he's rebought the firehouse. Firehouse is all decrepit, and he shows up back in it. We don't know who's driving that though, because he's in the firehouse. Someone pulls it in, and then he just kind of sets his hand on it, and it's a little bit of Janine, and he's talking about he's gonna. I don't know. I can't remember what he said to Janine, but something.
It was basically like he was going to fund the Ghostbusters again. That's kind of what I got out of it, or like funnel money back into that business.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's cool because I was telling Jesse, like he's the only one that looks young enough and fit enough that he could, do more movies. Like this guy, he's black dude. He looks like he's freaking 30.
Yeah,
this guy's in great shape. He looks good.
Bill Murray is the questionable one. Bill Murray is getting pretty rough.
Yeah. But yeah, so it looks like he's starting it up. So I don't know if from this sequel, if the kids,
I hope so, to be honest.
Would they move to New York and help them, or have separate offices? Maybe a movie that goes back and forth and they have to help each other do something, because I love the line where Venkman goes up to the Phoebe character. "Hey, I'm from the main office in New York. They said we love what you're doing out here," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I think they have some interaction where she explains who she is, and he's like, "Oh," kind of a revelation, giving her shit about being Spangler's granddaughter. But yeah, that was pretty cool setting up. I mean, this one's good enough for if we don't get some sequels, then that's just not meant to be.
Yeah,
because you couldn't really do better than this. So if you don't get sequels rolling off this, you're not getting sequels ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have Hollywood Reporter up, I have it up now, but I was browsing through it before we started, and it made $44 million, which according to Sony, that's a hit for them with this movie. So that's good. That's a good sign that you want to get some more. But yeah, it was kind of confusing. Well, the one thing I was confused on is I could have swore, maybe you can back me up on this, or if you remember or not, But I could have swore when Ray was talking to Phoebe when she's in prison, he says that the firehouse is gone and it's the Starbucks now. And then when it gets to the end, he like opens it up and it's still the firehouse. I'm like, wait, I thought it was a Starbucks, but I don't know. Maybe Ray was just misinformed, or I don't know. But I was kind of
Yeah,
confused about that.
did.
But
I think he did say that.
but it is kind of weird. I thought the kids were going to be in the car when they pulls in, but it's just a silhouetted person in the car. You don't know who it is. I do like the end of just his hand touching the hood of the car. I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, I do hope the kids are involved in the next movie because I do like them, and I feel like we need more of them. I want more podcasts and Phoebe's adventures and her personality. Maybe get the stranger kid, Trevor. Is that his name in the movie? Yeah. Give him something more to do, more interactions with the kid. Maybe Ernie like trains them. He's like the mentor, Ben Kenobi type. Something like that. That would be fun because I want them to come back. I thought they were fun characters.
Yeah, it was cool, man. Yeah, and the funny thing is, like Zeddemore, what's that actor's Ernie Hudson? He's probably the cheapest check to write, of all of them, and that's been his lifeblood, kind of for a long time. He does a lot of stuff based on that, Comic Cons and stuff. He's been wanting this for a long time. He's like, God damn it, you bastards, get the Ghostbusters back! Just give me this one thing.
Yeah,
and so they're probably like, chomping at the bit. He's like, dude, $1,200, I will do it. You know what I mean? So they're probably like, yeah, he wants to do it. He's the cheapest one. He looks the youngest. He looks the best at everyone. Boom, you're the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome.
See where it goes. I like I love the subtle touch of cutting the credits and it's just Ghostbusters and it's the original. It doesn't say Afterlife. It just says Ghostbusters. I thought that was awesome. And obviously having the theme carry the movie into the credits.
Yeah.
Man.
But then at the very, very end, it's got the freaking weird logo where it's like the mini puff.
Oh yeah, that was after the credit scene. That was weird.
I was like, what the heck is that? But yeah, they did the ending. They did the beginning at the ending.
Mm-hmm.
The quintessentials is usually a big scare. Then and then we didn't get that. I really did want that at the beginning. Like I like that opening. It's kind of an iconic. Like that, you could have done it. Like after Egon died, the PKE goes, and then you. They could have done it, but they did it at the end. Well, I mean, whatever. It's a small gripe, but that's one of the coolest like intros. I love it when they fade the symbol in, and man, whatever. We got it at the end. This whole movie, that's what this movie is. The end payoff. They make you wait to the end for everything. So makes sense. So the real question here is score. First of all, let's talk ranking Ghostbusters. Where does this rank?
Ah, man. I feel like I have to see this again, but I mean, this could change. Opinions change, but my knee-jerk reactions, I think this is my second favorite. I like the second movie a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, the second movie is great, but first, I just loved this movie a lot. Like, man, this is so fucking good. Just so different and just has that heart, that emotional fucking punch at the end. And the second one's good. I like it. It's fucking hilarious. There's some cool moments, but it is kind of a retread of the first one in a lot of ways. So I do think as of now, I mean, maybe once I rewatch it, I may feel differently. Now that the magic's kind of not gone, but I've already seen it. Yeah. But right now it's Ghostbusters Afterlife 2, and then we don't even talk about the weird stepchild movie. But so I go 1, 3, and 2.
Yeah.
But they're all great. They're all fucking awesome.
Yeah. I think I still like 2 better than this. Me and my relationship with 2 is different than most people. Most people talk shit about 2. Most people think it's underrated, or some people think it's underrated and get shit on for it when it's still actually really funny. It's just hard to live up to the original. I think it's really funny. There's lots of quotable, really cool stuff in it. But this one's really good. So I'd put it on tier with 2.
Yeah.
And that's not disparaging to this movie because I really like 2. So for me to be on par with 2 is a really good thing. So I'd probably put it there. I mean, depending on how I felt in the day, maybe they can swap. But
yeah, I'm fucking.
Probably.
I've said multiple times that Rotten Tomatoes doesn't matter, and it doesn't. But it fucking irritates me how low it is. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I could look at it, I'm like, what?
Of
Like,
what one?
it's
Two?
of this movie. I'm like,
Oh, this
this is
movie.
a 60%. Like, go fuck yourself. And I look at Ghostbusters 2016, it's like 75, and I'm like, in what fucking
Well,
universe is 2016 75 and this is a 60? Like, that just baffles me. Like, this is a 60% movie. Again,
and
whatever. It
that's
doesn't really
the
matter.
critic. That's a critic score.
Yeah, critic. The user score is probably much different, but
Yeah, I can imagine the user scores in the 8 or 9s.
Yeah.
Because imagine you walk out of this, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know Ghostbusters. Yeah, so I score. Man. It's high. I don't want to go crazy with it just because I'm nostalgia filled, but I'll probably go. It's at 8.5. It's approaching 9 territory. It's so good. It was everything I could have hoped that the sequel 30 years later would be. This could have been so bad. This could have been
awful.
A terrible movie, and it surprised the hell out of me. It really wasn't what I thought going into it. It's very different, and it's a good thing. And it just, I didn't think we were gonna get to see Egon.
Mm-hmm.
And I accidentally clicked through an article talking about something about spectral Egon. I was like, oh, hey, what the fuck?
Spoilers.
I was like, are we gonna get a ghost Egon in this? It's like, I thought they wouldn't do it because they didn't want to. It's hard to do that shit. Use people that are dead in a movie, and I didn't think they would want to do it because it's just too hard to do, and it didn't look right most of the time. But they did it really well, and I love this movie. I thought it was great. I can't wait to get it on Blu-ray and add it to the Ghostbuster collection. Can't wait. Yeah, 8.5. Couldn't have been better for me. I don't know what I could have wanted more, other than freaking Egon being alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just changing the story slightly to the family has to help him versus family take over for him. But other than that, man, loved it.
Yeah, I'm at a 9. I was so happy, man. So happy when those credits were rolling, that theme kicked in. Just like so happy that it was just good. It was fucking different. It wasn't a carbon copy of the original. I wanted to bring up some things that I liked that we didn't, just really, really, really briefly. But I love fucking Paul Rudd putting on Cujo and Child's Play at summer school.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. What else did I guess that's kind of it. I just, for some reason, we were talking about Paul Rudd. I was like, oh, yeah, the fucking Cujo VHS. I didn't talk about some of the things I didn't like. I just want to briefly mention them, but I didn't care too much for the mom. I thought that she was kind of a downer every time. Like every time she was on screen, she was kind of like self-deprecating and kind of cynical.
Yeah.
Like every time she was on screen, she had to remind everybody that she was unhappy and that they were poor. I'm like, all right, I get it. Saying it once was enough. You don't need to keep bringing it up every time you're on screen. She did get a little better towards the end of the movie, but for the probably first half of the movie, I'm like, oh my god, this woman's kind of fucking annoying. Get over it, But there's just like some weird stuff where like when she's in the basement. I think you were talking about the scene earlier, but when she's in the basement or discovers the basement rather, and there's clearly a ghost guiding her through it. She's not reacting to any of it. It's like you wouldn't be freaked out that this lamp is moving around everywhere. Like you're like, oh my god, this is a ghost, but she just kind of goes with it, which I thought was kind of weird. And then
I think she kind of knew it was her dad, but at the same time, that scene I thought was weird because she gets possessed at the end of it. I was like, if you are a ghost and you know kind of more than we do, why don't you kind of give her the heads up to get out of there? You know what I mean? Rather than show her the wall of pictures and then, oh, guess what? There's a ghost behind you. That ain't me. Watch out. Oh, damn it.
Dang,
got her.
Too late.
Damn.
Yeah. I thought that Phoebe figuring out that the house was a trap was a little like eye rolly. Like she walks outside and sees a spray painted on the garage thing. It says dirt, and she looks down, pulls up an electrical cord, and she goes, "Oh, this house is a trap." And I'm like, you could have done that a little better. Yeah, again, these are just very fucking small nitpicky stuff. I mean, I'm giving it a 9. I loved it, but it's just kind of one of those things. Some stuff was like, that was a little rough. Some of the nostalgia didn't work for me. I didn't think the Stay Puft Marshmallow should have been in there. I also didn't like the fucking the cop when she's like, I want a phone call, and he's like, who you gonna call? I was like, God damn it.
Oh, that was good. That was a good way to use it. And, that was a good way to get it in there. I like that part.
It was all right.
You know what annoyed me? I was in the movie theater with like, the like mid-30s ultra geek heavyset guy in front of me.
Nice.
That had an annoying ass laugh at anything slightly like a joke. You know what I mean? Like they said, and this motherfucker would clap. Like if you thought something was real funny, I was like, don't fucking clap in the middle of the damn film. I was like, dude,
that sucks.
I was like, damn it, this guy's getting on my nerves, but he's enjoying himself. He's obviously a huge Ghostbusters fan, so
yeah,
I'll let you have your thing. But man, it was so weird. I haven't been in a movie where someone had really geeked out like that, for a while. So that was kind of cool to see. But yeah, anything slightly funny, this guy was cackling.
That's awesome. But yeah, man, I was so happy, man. I was, this was announced a very long time ago, and you could tell this was a summer movie. I think I was dropped in November because this movie feels like a summer movie. But yeah. So I'm glad that we finally got to see it. We've been waiting for many years, and I'm glad they did the movie justice. The series justice.
Yeah, awesome. Maybe the Ghost Corps will actually do something now. He's that damn act like it's a universe. Ghost Corps.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they started that in the 2016 thing. Franchise. They had it in the remaster of the game too. They use the Ghost Corp thing. We ain't doing shit with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, 8.5 and a 9.0. Amazing. Really great. This is the best movie I've seen in theaters in a very long time. It's like every time I go to a theater movie, I've been kind of misses. Candyman was pretty good, but it wasn't like didn't blow my socks off. This was kind of blew my socks off. So this has been the best theater movie I've seen in years, man. Go see it. Please go see it.
Yeah, please go see it. Don't let the 2016, leave a bad taste in your mouth. Don't let the 60% Rotten Tomatoes throw you off. Like, please, this movie is so much fun and it's great. Go support it. We want another one.
Yeah, go give them some money because I want some. I want more merch. I want more movies. Please, it's so awesome. So yeah, that's it. I mean, couldn't have gone better. So pleasantly surprised. Super awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we're doing next week. I saw. Did you see the trailer for the Superman dog movie?
No, but I know it exists. I didn't know there's a trailer though.
Dude, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Look that trailer up. I was like, dude, this looks fun. It's like a cartoon and it's Super Dog. Superman gets trapped with the Justice League and he's got all these other pets that happen to get powers and they got a team together and it's The Rock as Super Dog.
Nice.
And it's like Kevin Hart's one of the other dogs. And, dude, it was just super funny. I was just like, dude, this is fun.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I don't know about next week. I know I'm excited, man. Fucking Thanksgiving's on Thursday. Friday, we're going to put our tree up, decorate, make some cocoa. I think we're going to watch Hawkeye because it's like a Christmas thing. Figured to watch something Christmassy. We could do Hawkeye. We could do, whatever else comes our way.
I mean, House of Gucci comes out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go see that. Ridley Scott.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, we might do that because Jesse kind of wants to see that. I'm kind of interested in that.
Just be prepared. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Just letting you know.
Fucking Ridley. Dude, it took forever for this movie to start. Like, it's a 1 o'clock showtime. And I was like, when is this movie going to start? We're sitting in there. Jesse's like, it's 1:35.
Jesus Christ. Trailers?
And the film hadn't started at 1:35.
Damn.
I was like, I thought what the fuck is that? This is so weird. So, I mean, if the movie's almost 3 hours, I might be there all damn day. Like the hell no. But yeah, I'll let you know what we think. And
okay.
where we're gonna go. Yeah, thanks guys for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Please check us out on Apple, on Spotify, YouTube. As always, we appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and go see this film. Do yourself a favor. This is it's a banger. If you like Ghostbusters, I mean, there's no excuse for you not to go, and you're a jerk if you don't. If you don't like Ghostbusters, guess what? You'll probably still like it too.
Yeah,
it's a win-win.
Go take your family. This was a fun family movie too.
Yeah, there was a little bit of inappropriateness in some of it.
Yeah.
There were some kids in front of me, and I remember their parents, like they say shit a couple times.
Yeah.
And then like the get humpy line it had some edge to it. It's not it's definitely not a PG movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but I liked that. And especially when she grabs the little kid and is, "Are you the gatekeeper?" I was like, "Oh no, oh no, are we about to? She's gonna seduce that fucking
podcast." Oh man.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.